Hi, we're going to cut a chicken, which is 2.1 pounds. And this, of course, is with animals come first. So right now we're looking at the cut from a previous chicken. And here's a warning: when you're taking apart the drumstick, there's going to be a pointy. This would be really bad news for a cat. So this weighs 2.5 pounds, 2.1 pounds. And then when this is over, we'll tell you how much meat there was. And well, this part will show you some of the skin that the cats seem to love. And that should be enough for now. Whenever I get a part, it's, when I'm cutting it, it gets tough. I think it must be cartilage. So it was next to some skin. This part came off. If you look closely, you can see right there. That's the cartilage. I wouldn't want to be chewing that, even though it's soft. I'm not sure it's good for cats. The question comes with wings. How much can you really get off? Well, you get a bit of skin and a bit of dark meat, so that's useful. And then it's just the somewhat fibrous. I mean, that's kind of tough, but we can cut it. And of course the bones come out, but that's kind of rough in there. So I like to just take the skin off and leave this part out. Again, this is another look. Kind of want to get to just the meat and let the skin, if it's easy to pull it off. But I mean, this will be tough here. See where that's held? That will be difficult to separate. So we've got time here. I'd rather be petting the cats than working over their food. So see, there are some small pieces that fall off of the, I guess this is the wing, but this part here, that's all comes to a point where the head of the bone is located. You get this tough stuff here. Try not to use it. This is something to watch for. I found it inside the drumstick, so you got to be careful. That's a little pointy. And we have somebody who wants to get into the picture, into the food. All right. Okay, so this right here is the next chicken. Tear it open for you. There it is. $7 for about 2 pounds. Well, it's probably going to be 1.5 pounds of meat. Okay, so let's see what we get. The first white meat comes off in large chunks. And then what I wanted to show you is the more dangerous parts. This is the part here that I find interesting. You can pull off the meat, the muscles here, right? And you get some good skin here. That's good. But somewhere in here, there is a sharp bone. Kind of there. There it is. I look for it because until I find it, I'm not sure if I could start cutting. And if I'm cutting, this would be very easy to go through, and it could get caught in a cat's mouth. So That's the bone that's next to, in the drumstick. See, just like that. This bone is somewhere in there. We can get the first part out there. There it is. It's like a fibula here, and this is the tibia. I think that's what they call it. Same warning in the drumstick. You get this nice meat, but it's connected to the joint. And you can see the joint. It's got this white material, right? See that white material? It's soft, but you don't want to be cutting it and have the cat have to go through it. So the rest of the meat, this tends to be kind of dry. So I like to mix it in with some chopped skin. So we chop up the skin, give it some more, well, it's almost like it gets flavor, because right there, that gets pretty boring. Here's another little piece I found in a piece sort of like this. When I pulled out the meat, there was this kind of tough piece, so I wouldn't want that to be fed to me. The wishbone is easy to find. We're looking for things that are more likely to choke the cat. Now, here's a wing. When we open it up, you get the main bone, but somewhere in here, we're going to find, yep, there it is. There's a little bone in there too. Kind of like with us, we've got 2 bones in our forearm. And then down here, it's just too rough. Don't need that. And then this was the situation. The bone is connected to this joint, and I just don't want to get into that joint. Just pull off the skin. Maybe there's a little bit of meat, but just leave that alone. You can see that we have some happy diners right here, interrupting our show. Here's another situation where you have a large hunk of cartilage. When I peel off some of the meat, it exposes one of these rather terrifying bones. I mean, you might chip. If you just cut into it, you might chip a piece of this bone, and it goes into the meat. And who knows what happens inside the intestine of a cat. So it's worth it, I think, to avoid chopping a lot of this stuff and instead separate it first. See? So I can separate the wing, but it's got this kind of difficult piece here. Might be a joint. Let's get rid of that. And then we have the 2 bones. They come out, right? And you can pull a little bit of meat off, but it's not like you would get a lot out of the wing. What you do get is some skin, which is nice to share. Adds to flavor. And if you go in, you get these kind of bones. So it's better to leave the wing alone, especially the tip of it. So in this chicken of 2.1 pounds, we had leftover bones of 0.3, so that's what we actually delivered to the cats, 1.3 pounds. So we can say basically that this right here is 2.5 ounces right here, and all of our chicken, we got 1.3 pounds or 21 ounces. So it's like, how many of these does it take to make all of this? The answer is 8. 8 of these, and they're $1.30 each, so it's like $10 here. And I spent $8 here, and this is not as fresh. And here is one of our diners. We remind you to clean the litters more than once a day. Our purpose is to provide foster care and also education, such as this video. So, an animal rescue and foster center, like Animals Come First, needs volunteers. And anyone can start one of these rescue centers. Contact us if you want more information about how you can keep kittens together and how you can put animals first by rescuing them and then fostering them. Thanks again for watching. And for playing with them. They really like food.